Here we are. This is the third podcast, season 1, episode 3, week 2 of the 2023 season. We made it.
Well, some of us did.
Yeah, some of us did. If I would have played anybody else this week other than you and Steve, I would have won. So
yeah,
you beat me in the casual league.
That is why we have the rule where the 6th seed gets into the playoffs regardless of their record, only based on kicking ass. So
yeah, it's
that's
the
why
next.
we do that.
It's the highest non-qualifying.
If I can get
scored.
196 points without an RB1 or a WR, I think I'll be okay.
Yeah. So let's jump right into it.
I feel the same, son. Like, Jesus, I got nothing. My shit is battered.
We'll get to that.
Put them numbers.
Let's jump right into it. Matchups.
What about it?
Who's going first?
We'll start from the top.
We'll start with you two. Come on, let's get this out of the way.
Yeah, we got to get this out of the way here. So I edged out Trevor here, 222.26 to 194.
You know, a subtle 18-point margin here.
So I seem to remember.
If I would have had Austin Eckler, I would have absolutely destroyed Blarg this week.
Down bad, that's really good.
But I had
understand that hurt for sure.
So I remember you telling me that there was no way TJ Watt was going to be having a crazy fucking game.
I said he wasn't going to get a 40-point game, and he didn't get a 40-point game. He got
damn near. TJ Watt got 35
points.
35 points, dude.
But that's
killed the Browns, man.
Yeah, 35.7. So there's
no, Highsmith got 3 more points. Basically 2.5 more, and so he gets all the accolades.
The only reason Skot won this week is because somebody dropped Danielle and gave him one of the best defensive linemen in the game. So it's like,
wait, he got him off the waiver wire?
I did.
Yeah.
Matt
dropped. I tried.
Matt dropped Danielle Hunter, and then this was what the whole Steve got mad at me because. I picked up Danielle Hunter for the same amount of fab that he wanted to pick him up for.
You would have won the waiver anyway.
We made the same bid.
I lost ultimately, but like
that's the way it breaks.
Yeah.
So studs. My studs: Brian Robinson 31.9 points, Justin Jefferson 23.9 points, Danielle Hunter dropping 90 million points all over Trevor's face, and Frankie Louvu 22 points. So really defensive battle. My duds: Kyle Pitts, Arthur Smith is a fantasy terrorist.
Yeah, that shit's funny, dude. That's a great nickname.
The amount of targets that he got, not only in the red zone, literally on the goal line, that just went way over his head, or bounced off of his hands, or was thrown right at a DB, had Mariota vibes to it. It was so disconcerting to watch. Elijah Moore also got, I think, like 10 targets and ended up, he got 9 targets and he only caught 3 of them because Deshaun Watson had a nightmare of a game. And then Brian Burns also did nothing. But other than that, pretty good showing by my team. And then on Trevor's side of the ball, he had Kirk Cousins, Mr. Consistent. I think the top scoring quarterback on the week. And
Damn. He fucking killed that game, right?
Yeah, 36 points. He had a very bad opener, but then after half he showed out.
Yeah, Kirk really did he done good. He did good on prime time, and he got really juiced, and now he's just tearing it up. So good for him.
And then we had TJ Watt, who I'm pretty sure is on some kind of spirit journey to the astral realm because he got a sack and a pick 6 and was just all over the screen.
When you have to make up for all of the terrible offense that the Steelers have, I mean,
that scoop and score was awesome.
Yeah.
Dude, the Steelers, man.
Something on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, that scoop and score was great. That was a real fun play.
The Steelers got to figure out something, man. Their offense is horrendous.
Duds, though, Josh Kelly, 5.4 points, and Richie Grant.
So sad. Last
3.5.
time this happened, he actually dropped like a 15 points or something. Can't remember what it was, but
that would have been a respectable showing.
But it was in Cleveland. He dropped 16 points when Austin Eckler went down, and he just didn't show out this week at all. It's too bad because now I really am. Now I have to hope that Kareem Hunt gets picked up by the Browns and he's playing this week, or I'm kind of screwed in that position. Because I don't know how long Austin Eckler's out. He's out. No timeline, like high ankle sprain.
Yeah.
So at least a month.
It looks bad.
At least a month then.
He's an IR stash for sure.
Yeah. I wanted to look at this clip real quick. This was a Brian Robinson play. We had the theme of running backs with vision last week, and Brian Robinson, I think, was the top scoring running back.
Isn't that Bijan Robinson?
No, Brian Robinson on Washington.
Robinson.
Yeah, so this is an outside zone play, and Brian Robinson has the vision to catch the smallest gap in the line and turns this into, I think, like a 27-yard gain. It's insane to me how he saw this, but I'm excited for this dude, man. That is the smallest margin that you can move through right there, and he managed to turn that into something. So,
that's nice.
Yeah, I thought that was a really cool play, but
that was impressive. Yeah,
that certainly shows.
My Antonio Gibson pick. That dude's banned to the shadow realm or something.
He keeps fumbling the ball, man. That's the problem, honestly.
No, this B. Robinson is Bijan with the 25 points here.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that brings us to the next game. We had Jordan versus Casey this week. This ended up being the highest scoring team that Casey faced, unfortunately. Sorry. Sometimes
Russ got
just get
over
blown
30
up.
Points. Damn.
He did. He actually played really well. Which brings me to the first stud in Jordan's column here, which is Russell Wilson, obviously. He had a really, really good game for fantasy, not such a good game for real-life football. If you didn't see this, the end of the game was absolutely hilarious. He threw a Hail Mary. No, he threw a Hail Mary, got the touchdown, and then failed on the 2-point conversion to tie it. And that's how the game ended.
So it really was garbage time, pretty much. Well,
not really. Desperate. When you're throwing a Hail Mary,
yeah, you're throwing a desperate Hail Mary.
Yeah, garbage implies that you're not playing.
You're totally lost. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, so not quite garbage time.
Garbage time is when the Cowboys scored their last touchdown against the Giants to make it 40-0.
Yeah, that's garbage time for sure. There, no clear definition.
Why isn't there a mercy rule? Which I'm sure later we'll cover the Giants because they finally showed some.
We'll get there.
The desperate heave at the end, though, is a classic bid for fantasy relevance that sometimes pays off, but I mean,
the dude who caught it
50 in the game.
Dude who caught it, I have in another league, and he's like a nothing player, and he just has like 20 points in that league.
Was it Mims?
No, it was some dude I've never heard of that I picked up on the waiver wire.
Some rookie who had one catch for like 52 yards and 2 touchdowns or something.
Yeah.
That's Mims.
No, it's something Johnson.
Something John. I don't remember his name.
Yeah okay. Johnson. Oh. Either way. Whatever.
Other studs for Jordan. We got CMC. CMC 22.5 points. What more can be said? Most complete offensive player in the game. I thought this was really interesting. This game was so fun to watch. Swift, 30 points.
Yeah, that was
28 carries.
That was an absolute dominant performance.
This was DeAndre Swift saying, like, I know what his defense, I know where their holes are. I'm going to run all over them. And just, like, taking advantage of Minnesota in a big way.
To me, though, I think it's more about the Eagles' backfield officially being a mess. more
Yeah,
so than we
yeah,
already
yeah.
thought it would be with
Oh yeah.
all the talent that they have there in that room.
I'm gonna come back to the
they're
Eagles
trying-
fucking mess.
They got
Backfield
3
mess.
running backs to see who would show out, and
They got
DeAndre's
it.
the one. They got
Well,
the one.
Last week was Kenny Gainwell. Kenny Gainwell was looking really good. He got all the touches. He was really productive, and then
He's been there before.
he took a weird tackle and bruised a rib, and it was a short week, so they ended up pivoting to DeAndre Swift, and then he did this. And
The thing is, they can afford to rotate them, right? And by rotating them, they get rest. Ultimately,
Right, but they have a third in Rashad Penny, who's just god awful.
we'll get to him. We'll get to him
he
when we talk.
absolutely fucked me.
we'll see if Penny can show out, but it seems unlikely. I mean, we know his history.
We'll get to him when we talk about AJ Brown. Don't worry.
Yeah, dude. I've got thoughts.
Keenan Allen, 28.6. Just like Trevor says, start your vets.
Yep.
Get your old men on that team. We got TJ Hawkinson, 23.1 points. He had a
Currently the
game.
tight end won.
Currently the tight end won 7 for 8, 66 yards, 2 touchdowns. That is remarkable. He has looked
Kirk
like
loves his tight ends.
We can't just skip over Amon-Ra St. Brown though.
He got turf toe. What's there to say?
okay. Well, we'll quickly.
With the turf toe, still scored 13 points.
The turf toe is at the end of the game.
He was the scariest player on their team. It doesn't matter what's happening, he gets open.
I mean, he's the
Every
new
play.
prime Michael Thomas, prime Cooper Kupp.
Devontae Adams, he's on that level.
No, dude, Devontae has a vertical game. Amon-Ra does not really do the vertical thing. He short intermediary.
He's much more short range, but I mean, I guess Michael Thomas is a
Michael Thomas, Cooper Kupp. That's
just boy for sure.
Well, unlike Michael Thomas, I doubt he'll be out for 2 years with turf toe. So.
He's gonna get a plate.
Yeah.
He's probably gonna get a plate in his foot or in the shoe, and he's gonna play it off. Probably.
He'll be less efficient, but he'll still be good.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
Still be able to play him. And then I think the last player that really balled out for Jordan was L'Jarius Sneed, who is looking fantastic for Kansas City. This dude,
KC's defense is real.
Their defense looks the best it's ever looked in the Pat Mahomes era.
Yeah, it's true.
I'm glad I have McDuffie, dude.
In the past, they didn't really have a defense because they're putting up, they spent all their money on offensive weapons, so
exactly.
They could put up 40 points a game. But now it's at the point where they don't really have very many offensive weapons, so now they have to kind of resort.
We're kind of seeing the scales tip the other way. Yeah,
it'll be a problem when they face
they're what's happening to the Chiefs in real time is basically what we've seen happen to the Packers over the long term. Is that with you have the quarterback that you're going, and then you just have basically they're just starting to invest all of their resources on defense, and they're not necessarily looking around for wide receiver talent.
Did you just compare Aaron Rodgers to Pat Mahomes?
I did. Early career Aaron Rodgers.
I don't know, man. I've never been a believer in Aaron Rodgers. He chokes so fucking hard every single time he's in the playoffs.
Steve's had to watch it. He knows.
Steve is well aware.
I absolutely know, and I'm specifically talking about Aaron Rodgers in his first 4 years in the league. This first 4 years.
You're just talking about the superstar quarterback timeline of you pay the guy, you got to turn the team over, and then
you use your offensive weapons. You emphasize defense because you feel like your quarterback can cover some of the bullshit in terms of the wide receiver and make some less good guys better by throwing them open. I think that's the general idea.
Either way, the next guy is Fred Warner, who absolutely killing it.
Facts.
Still the best linebacker in the game, probably.
Among the best. Roquan Smith's still in that conversation for sure, but Fred Warner is absolutely.
It'd be him and Roquan, I guess.
Yeah.
But
in the duds column, though, for Jordan, we've got Jamal Williams. This sucked to watch, man.
That sucks.
I was so sad when I saw him get injured because
Jamal Williams is easily the most fun player, like just personality-wise, in the league.
Absolutely. Personal favorite, for sure.
it was hard to watch, man.
What happened to him?
It's just bad hamstring injury. He'll
you gotta
probably
be
be
hamstring.
out. He'll probably be out for a while, but
Yeah, he will.
yeah.
He can probably come back from it, but
And then the last dud on this otherwise remarkable performance was Max Crosby. He did nothing, basically. It's kind of surprising.
I mean, he just had 7 tackles. He just was put a respectable floor.
This is a
on the-
this is a superstar young defensive player, though. You kind of expect more out of guys like that.
It's hard to get it's hard to get a sack every week. It's not
I
one of those
mean,
things
yeah,
where,
you-
like
He is that kind of player, though.
Precisely.
he should be.
he
but
tries.
Think about the organization he's in right now.
And also look at what Buffalo is going to be doing. Like, they're going to double team the fuck out of him.
There's no one else that you.
There's no one else
that worried about.
at Vegas that you really have to worry about it. So just double team Crosby. Let him take his 7 tackles in the run game. You know, as he has to get off of a block, and you gain 2 or 3 yards on a play. Sure, you're gonna lose those, but
Isn't he coming off an injury last year? No, he's not.
No,
Crosby,
so.
no, he was absolutely dominant the entire year.
Yeah, he was great. He was top scoring or sack leader, right?
well, he was the top scoring IDP player last year, right?
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
for us. Yeah.
For us, sure.
So on the other side of the ball, Casey.
Oof.
I wouldn't say so much oof is just he just got unlucky playing against Jordan because I think he would
That's
have
what you
beat.
get for picking Justin Fields. Let's just
Well,
say it.
Josh Jacobs fucking got negative 2 yards on the ground. Like, I don't know what else to say, man.
Yeah, no, that was
the
not a great
organization,
game.
man.
Justin Fields also
Yeah.
lost the game by
Yeah.
throwing a pick 6 at the very end of the game.
Oof.
So
Oh,
I don't know if you caught the end of that, but that's how that game ended.
I don't know, but
Also, having
you can't play winning football with 2 interceptions and 2 fumbles.
having
those
2
was a pick
defensive
six.
players score under 10 points in the means of they scored 2.5 a point. Josh Allen, the defensive end, didn't do absolutely anything.
Yeah, defensive
And
Josh
and
Allen
Javon
didn't show up.
And Javon Hargrave
Didn't
got
show up.
1 tackle for loss. Like,
Yep.
I mean,
exactly.
yeah.
he had Frank Warner and Mika Fitzpatrick who absolutely balled out for him. It was
Minka
just
Fitzpatrick ended fucking
And Brisker didn't do
Nick
bad
Chubb's
either.
career. So,
we'll get to that. But yeah, like we
oh
were
that
saying
was
earlier,
Mika?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
yeah.
Oof. I'm sure that dude feels bad. No one likes to see any of that.
Yeah.
Bijan Robinson, man, quickly
He
becoming
balled out.
the main focal point of Casey's
Falcons,
week-to-week plan and the Falcons.
He is.
He's a great player, but I caution you to take the Green Bay Packers run defense as if it were anything, and this performance may not be repeatable.
Doesn't matter,
against
Steve.
better
The
defenses.
only thing that the Falcons can do is run the ball.
That is
Yeah.
true.
That is all they wish to do. Fuck your fantasy team.
Yeah, no,
Uncle Smith.
the billionaire coach says fuck your feelings and all that bullshit and
This is
hates
true.
everybody.
It's true.
I mean, they ran the shit out of it, but they also ran a ton of screens.
All right, Steve.
All right.
What happened here? What did you do to Ben, your friend?
What did I do to Ben? Well,
I'd
it
say
wasn't
this is
Brees Hall,
a
that's
this is
for
a
sure.
I thought
I believe-
watching this was close but no cigar, but Highsmith couldn't complete the comeback.
Basically, yeah. There was a serious chance that
Yeah,
Highsmith.
what happened with Brees Hall this week?
Yeah,
What's-
Steve's
I don't know. I
number
didn't-
one
I
dud
didn't
here.
watch this game.
Oh,
That's
dude,
definitely-
you know what happened is
Brees.
they decided that they were going to try and win the game by having Zach Wilson throw the ball, which is just like the worst idea you could possibly imagine. But I tell you, that is what happened.
So that explains both Brees Hall and Dalvin Cook's stat line.
Well, they also
It's
played
like they're
against
both
Dallas.
dog shit.
Dallas
Yeah,
has
good defense.
one of the best defenses in the league.
Maybe the best.
Yeah.
Like, it's
Maybe
never the
the
Jets.
best. And we'll get to
Yeah.
Minka Fitzpatrick. But yeah.
T. Higgins had a fucking
Or not
game.
Micah Parsons, who was one of your studs.
Actually,
It's
Micah
true.
Parsons
I meant Micah
defense.
Parsons. I did not mean Minka Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, Micah Parsons had
had a
crazy
game. He was the defense, more or less.
Pretty much.
Absolutely destroyed.
He did so much.
He did to
he did
Zach
skip Bayless
Wilson.
proud.
Yeah. He did to Zach Wilson what you would expect to happen to Zach Wilson every week that he
He
starts.
destroyed him. He made his life a living hell in the pocket. And that was strong work.
I think that Brees Hall also kind of rope-a-doped everybody because he was sitting on a lot of benches, not in our Dynasty League, but I feel like in redraft he was kind of the backup guy or first man up on the bench sort of player or your 0 RB, RB1 strategy kind of guy. And they see that he's going off week 1 and then put him in the lineup this week, and he does nothing. So the classic fantasy rope-a-dope.
I mean, that's the classic, like, people didn't think of the matchup. Like, never, like, if you're banking on anything good happening during a Dallas game this year, nope. Like, just, that's the wrong idea.
Well,
Dallas
I mean,
just, like, that defense is just, like, scary. Like, everywhere they've got somebody.
How about
Aaron Jones being out on injury is what forced this move, ultimately.
Yeah.
You know, this is a backup scenario, and he might be in a flex spot.
I think the process was right. The results just weren't there, unfortunately.
Yeah.
How about T.
Sometimes
Higgins?
you roll the dice.
Look at T. Higgins.
Had a
He came back. He did something.
Came back with a
He
vengeance.
did more than something.
He
He got 12 targets and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
He balled out.
I mean, Chase did not do anything.
There's a lot of question marks, though, around
whole offense.
the quarterback situation there because Joe Burrow's hurt. There's a question of whether or not he'll actually start this weekend. You still start him. You know, he's gonna be on your team, and you're gonna hope for the best. But he's just too talented to put him away because I couldn't bench T. Higgins.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't bench T. Higgins either. That's just a start. You just hope for the best.
Yeah. I mean, who's Burrow's backup? Who do they have
Dude, no one knows that answer.
I looked it up earlier, but I don't remember, and that is
no one knows the answer to that question.
Click on Burrow. You've got him right there. You can put it on the screen. We can all learn together.
Jake Browning. There it is.
Jake Browning. Who the fuck is that?
That's Turd Ferguson.
That is a Turd Ferguson play. How about this, Steve? Gus Edwards.
Yeah, that was a fun little waiver wire, or not quite waiver wire, but a fun little stash that worked out. Because
no, that was a waiver wire. I dropped him.
Yeah.
I drafted him and dropped him, but that was before J.K.
Before
Dobbins.
J.K. Dobbins, yeah, exactly.
Which just unfortunate for J.K.
Yeah,
that kid was balling.
Calf injury.
I am
Joe Burrow has a
benefit of circumstance there, and again, really quite some luck because of the Aaron Jones thing forcing my hand and me not really having other viable options at running back.
Well, there's a problem, Steve. Gus Edwards has not caught a pass since 2020.
Yeah, well,
yeah.
So
reliable on a pitch. Honestly,
everybody aboard the Gus bus.
Look, the 5 rushing first downs, that 2.5 points actually makes a big difference here. And I think that makes his score considerably more respectable than what it would be without.
I mean, it was absolutely serviceable. He did what he needed to do for you.
That does make it more viable, and I think that helps. You know, it helps keep his scoring up, even though he has not had that PPR bonus. So scoring working as intended.
So what happened with your boy Romeo Doubs?
He got blanketed the entire game by the Falcons' young cornerback, who is going to be great. What's his name? AJ Terrell.
Oh, Terrell.
AJ Terrell. Yeah. He's going to be fantastic. He's going to be big in this league. But yeah, Dobbs got
2 for 3, 30 yards.
He got the number 1 treatment from a good cornerback, and had a lot of plays made on him, and didn't get the separation you would have wanted from a guy who's supposed to be your man beater. But Jaden Reed 8.
Yeah, he did. He got 2 touchdowns, 4 for 8, 37 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, the game plan was became clearly to go away from that one guy, and then that is when things broke down for the Packers. But it did work out more or less for Jaden Reed, who was able to like get open in creative ways from scheming. But you know, that's just going to be a weird flippy floppy for a while as to which one of those two walks away with more points, more likely.
Is Darius Smith and Jabril Peppers really kind of shit the bed for you?
Late plugins, both of them, due to injury as well. So
Are they both hurt? I didn't see anything about
Zedarius?
that.
No. But they're other folks on my. I mean, like I'm running Jabril Peppers
roster
because I don't have Jalen Petra.
Right.
You know, he's
Yeah, 'cause
out
he's
with
out.
a bruised lung or
That sucks, man.
bleeding
He's so
lung.
good.
You know,
Oh, dude, he's out. That's
yeah. So he's out for at least a couple weeks with that kind of situation. So there's and then there was an Willie Anderson was out, so I wanted to plug in there instead Zedarius Smith. I thought he had a good chance, especially with a Monday night game, of at least getting a sack. And he got damn close on a few occasions, but didn't quite make it home.
Didn't quite work out for you.
Yep. It was not. I feel like it was again the right kind of thinking that the numbers didn't quite work out. And I think that honestly, it worked out better for me than it worked out for Ben. But I think the same kind of thought process goes into a lot of what he's doing here.
Yeah.
You don't expect Najee to get a 6-point game.
Yeah, let's look at Ben's side here. The situation with Saquon Barkley is so frustrating, man.
It's so gnarly.
Which I think is a good opportunity to bring
right?
up that Giants game because that was something. I remember sitting there and thinking the Giants might actually be the worst team in the NFL. And then basically as soon as I said that, I was sitting in here with Trevor. I was like, I think the Giants might be the worst team in the NFL. Pretty much right after I said that, Saquon Barkley got a touchdown, and then they
broke the seal, man.
Poured it on.
They opened the floodgates.
Yep.
But it's
I mean, it took Arizona. Like they realized that they could play football against probably what is the worst team.
Yeah, but like when you think about it, every time someone like the projected ratings for these teams over the summer gets hyped up so much because Arizona has a new quarterback right now because what's his name?
Kyler Murray's got the ACL.
Murray's out. Yeah.
And, just because you lose a quarterback doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be the worst team in the league. Especially if your quarterback is Kyler Murray, who is more interested in playing Call of Duty than he is in playing football.
But it's not just that. I mean, they've had star power leaving left and right on the offensive and defensive side of the ball. I mean, either through retirement or people requesting trades or free agency signings elsewhere. And they're in the midst of a reload and got a lot of youth that is highly unproven.
Yeah, a lot of youth that really wants to prove themselves to the league.
That's true.
Yeah, they had a good draft class. I mean, good left tackle, found some good, solid prospects that will play hard.
Unfortunately, we don't score left tackles or roster them. So, much to my chagrin, if we could find a way, I would be advocating for it. But
you wouldn't really be able to score a single offensive lineman. You have to do the whole line as a whole.
It'd be something like blocks or something like that.
The problem is that the stats are advanced and they wouldn't.
They don't.
These things don't get tracked in real time. It's days after the game's over. You see all the advanced statistics come out. Like I was talking with Joe before you guys got on here about PFF grades for defense and how the breakdown is so good and would work for fantasy, but that stuff isn't calculated in real time. So it'd be really frustrating to have a game where you win and 2 days later the advanced stats come out and then all the scores get corrected and then you actually end up losing. We're just not there yet.
Yeah. It's rough.
Well, let's continue getting through.
Nico Collins is looking legit.
Yeah, he's going to be good. I mean, CJ Stroud is turning
I think CJ Stroud is kind of the most obvious. Hey, guess what? We finally have an Ohio State quarterback that can play quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah, no kidding. It's first time in a minute.
They have.
Yeah.
I think the Tank Dell is the other receiver, and he's kind of like he's a different player than Nico Collins when you look at him. His size is
Completely different.
he's just a different. He's used differently in the offense, so it's like it's not really like a 1A 1B situation. It's like the way the way that they're going to end up using both of those players as the season goes on is going to be really telling as to what they're going to end up doing with these guys in year 2.
I think so far they've had Tank in the slot and Nico on the boundary.
Mm-hmm. It's because he's not designed to be
he's
doing
not a
that kind
big
of role.
guy. He's not gonna overpower most boundary quarters. He's a sneaky separation dude, and he's gonna thrive over the middle, like
He's so fast.
Hunter Renfroe type dude.
And these tiny receivers that are coming into the league are the reason that linebackers are no longer 250 pounds. They're just, like coming in at 230.
Right.
Because like they've got to be able to deal with these tiny dudes.
Like
yeah, exactly. Yeah, like Tyreek Hill in some circumstances.
See, but you can't really compare it because Tyreek Hill is still going to get 2-foot separation on you no matter what.
I think that's kind of the idea. Is they want these freak speedster kind of guys.
And dudes who can really change direction on a dime too. Mm-hmm. Like that's really key.
I mean, it's speed. Everybody's looking for the fast guy.
Should we move on to the Josh Kelsey game?
Well, hold on. I wanted to talk about the bad man, Alex Highsmith. He almost.
We got to talk about the bad man.
He was coming. He was coming for Steve. He was having a game similar to Micah Parsons.
Oh, he had a great game. He was benefiting from TJ Watt getting double teamed for a good portion of his game while still getting through in a lot of circumstances. So.
In a sack and forced fumble. I mean, the forced fumble,
the forced fumble is the one that Watt recovered for the touchdown.
Yeah,
they that was a huge play on both sides.
They started the game with the interception.
He had the pick six. He had the pick 6 in the beginning, and then
it wasn't. There was no pick 6. It was just a pick. The touchdown was called back.
Oh, it was. This is what I hate about the Monday doubleheader shit. Is I was also watching the Carolina game at the same time.
Yeah, no.
So I didn't see that got called back.
I think he stepped out of bounds or had touched. Yeah, he definitely picked the ball for sure.
He would have lost if that was a pick 6.
Yeah, no, I would have lost if it was a pick 6.
You were this close.
Yeah, exactly. No, it would have
happened. Yeah,
it would have. I mean, that's what I was saying. This game was a lot closer than the stats say.
I feel for Ben on this one because that shit happened to me on AJ Brown. Thank you.
It's rough.
And fucking Rashad Penny.
We'll get there.
Yeah.
So the next matchup was Josh and Kelsey. So close.
Warren's had some trouble.
So close. It was a bit of a low-scoring affair, but let's dig into what happened here. Josh had Patrick Mahomes, 27.7 points. Bradley Chubb had 20.8. Tony Pollard with 18.9. Ramondre Stevenson with 16. And DJ Moore at 15 points.
This looks like a largely respectable showing, except with a few real duds.
Yeah, some notable duds.
No one
nobody showed out
to get 1 point ever.
Nobody showed out.
Hufanga to get less than 5.
You got a couple duds.
Yeah, the Hufanga 3.5 points, and the Poyer 2.5 points, and then he was chasing that ridiculous pick 6 from week 1 with Deron Bland.
Yeah,
I feel like that was not the move. But
never bet on the
pick 6s. You cannot chase those. They're freak events.
Last year,
also Nick Bolton only getting 6 points this week, 5 points last week.
That's not going to happen.
That's going to change. That's going to change. I mean, maybe just with Kansas City's defense being a lot stronger, they don't need to rely on him as much for all those middle of the field tackles. But I don't know. They'll get back to getting run over, and he'll get his share of tackles.
Oh, absolutely.
Pretty sure.
I mean,
pretty soon people will fear Kansas City again, and they won't want to give Patrick.
I think we're already there, man. The Kansas City's defense, like we were saying earlier, is insane. Chris Jones, Frank Warner, Nick Bolton. It's just
They're good.
They're good.
They've got two good corners. Yeah, I mean, they've got people at every
True. And
level.
Snead too. I mean, Snead's been balling out. He's been playing great ball.
So then on
Yeah,
Kelsey,
the
Sorry,
one
go
thing I
ahead.
will say though about don't chase pick sixes just because like the guy who led the league last year in pick sixes only got 3. Like that's not a good
Yeah,
thing
is
to
that
chase.
dude
Yeah.
on the New England?
Yeah,
Forget
Kyle
his name.
Duggar. I've
Kyle
got him.
Duggar. Yeah.
I've got him.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Ball
like
hawk.
that's not happening again.
No.
Like that's just it's not.
Yeah.
So on Kelsey's side here, studs, James Conner. It's an interesting one. I thought that game was a little surprising in that line.
It's
Yeah,
just
He had a
volume, man.
Gus Edwards game.
26,
I mean,
20, 23
23
carries.
carries. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
just
like, it's
volume.
just volume, man.
Just
Like,
fed him.
he's gonna get the volume.
Yeah.
I don't think that's surprising at all. I think he's one of the only weapons that they have on the team, so they're going to use him.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
good.
Absolutely.
What is surprising is Jamar Chase being only 6.6 points.
Well, T. Higgins was feeding some.
I mean, but not even breaking
other.
10 for Jamar Chase is like, I mean, 31 yards.
Yeah.
Like, that's
Yeah.
just,
5 of 8.
Yeah, he missed three.
He missed 3 targets. That's rough.
Devonta Smith, though, was almost the difference here. He had a monster game, and you could tell he was the favorite target of Hurts in that game. He was just chugging.
yeah.
Every time it was a bomb, it was like, oh, that's an A.J. Brown monster catch. And nope, that's Devonta Smith, that little dude. And then he just gets up. He like caught the ball on the ground. He was so open that no one could touch him down. So he just gets up and then keeps running. It's like, dude's electric.
I feel like Olave had a
both-
more impactful
both-
game than the stats show here, too, unfortunately.
Both teams have a lot of points sitting on their bench.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
It's
it's kind of hard when Kelsey started players like Aaron Donald and Bobby Wagner and got basically nothing out of them.
got less than
but-
10 points between those two.
But Bobby's
Yeah.
old. I understand the Aaron Donald thing, but Bobby's old. He shouldn't be putting up, anything other than 10 tackles a week. Like that makes sense for him. He's never really been the kind to get past defenses, or he might get a sack, maybe 1 or 2, but he's our over the middle,
he lives and dies
stop
on
the run
tackles.
kind of guy.
Yeah.
So he's not going to perform in this league the way we have it set up, in the terms of.
If he was like
Here's
5
the
years
thing
younger,
about-
he would be, but not now. Like,
Bobby,
he doesn't-
Bobby
Aaron
Wagner,
Donald,
he's
too.
going to be a floor guy. He's gonna get you to the 10 tackles, and if he gets a sack or he gets a paw up and bats a ball down, then you get a 20-point week out of him.
Absolutely.
But he's
Because
a
he's
floor
good
player.
for a couple interceptions every year, a couple
yeah.
like pass breakups,
fumble
few
recovery,
sacks.
because he's very
He's always on the ball. So
grizzled
he's gonna
veteran.
get a fumble recovery.
Exactly, he knows
He's
exactly
just
where
old
it's
now.
at.
But yeah, he's old.
Just old.
The thing with Aaron Donald, too, is that the way he affects the game isn't normally fantasy relevant.
I
He
don't think I
messes
would
up
have ever
offensive
played him
line
against
play
San
like
Francisco.
nothing else.
There's
know?
no way I'm playing him against San Francisco though, because
Yeah, no, they got a pretty good line.
San Francisco's
and they're
gonna
ready for
double
him.
and triple up on keeping Aaron Donald out of the fucking way of Christian McCaffrey. They do not want
Yeah, they don't want him
Aaron
anywhere near there.
Donald hurting their star running back.
No
Because
way.
Aaron Donald does want just to hurt everybody.
Yeah,
He wants to hurt Christian
Just
McCaffrey
wants
real
to
bad.
like inflict pain.
I'm pretty sure that's what they ended up doing too. They
Yeah, they
sold
triple
out to
teamed him.
stop him.
Yeah.
So
Which is like, yeah, I mean,
and that's
Seems like
really
it worked.
Yeah.
never played him.
that's
I've
really
never
what
played
IDP
him.
is like you gotta play matchups. Like, do they have a shit
Yeah.
line and a quarterback that makes a lot of mistakes? Get him in there.
Yep.
Do they have a really questionable wide receiver? And is your safety playing in the game? And is he a stud? Get him in there. He's
Stream
good for an
TLs
end.
against
He's
Chicago.
gonna miss on his route, and his quarterback's gonna throw a ball right at your guy. You want to play those kind of matchups with IDP. It's a little different than offense.
if you want to know the cheat code, just see if you're playing Justin Fields, man.
Yeah, no. If you
Or Zach
if you're-
Wilson.
if you
Zach
yeah,
Wilson.
exactly.
There's
or
another good
Deshaun
one.
Watson,
Good chances.
or
Play
Trevor
matchups.
Lawrence, any of
I
those
mean,
quarterbacks.
even Tua, like people who turn the ball over a lot of the time. Like
yeah, he throws a lot of questionable fucking throws, in my opinion.
you can even stream defenses against Josh Allen sometimes.
You're
Sometimes
gonna
it
be
does pay
hard
off.
pressed to find the weeks where that's a good idea, though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a real matchup play.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that's like okay, the Jets. Yeah, fair.
Right.
This was
Right.
also
Who would
probably
have thought that was gonna be a thing though? No
True.
one thought that was gonna be a
No.
fucking 3-pick night. You know?
Yeah, no.
There's no.
You can't predict
He
that.
he does that though. I mean, he has those games. He's got a bunch of those games in his
I mean,
repertoire.
he just
Never-
is new age Brett Favre.
He's
Yeah.
never won in overtime. Ever.
Right.
it's true.
Right.
He's 0 for
Pressure's on
4.
Josh Allen just picks.
0 for
Crumbles.
4. I think 0 for 5 now. He was 0 for 4
No, he's 0 for
until
3,
the
now he's
most
0 for
recent one.
4.
Now he's 0 for 4. Okay,
Yeah.
It's the hero ball.
something
that gets
like
him.
that. He just
I mean,
Absolutely.
that's
it's the hero ball.
He's a classic choke artist, man. That's just how it is.
Trevor
He's trying to
Lawrence
do too much.
was having a really bad day at the office. This
I mean, that's not anything new.
well, he
22 for 41. I mean, what the hell's going on?
so if you watch
Hey,
that game,
9 to 17.
Defense is real.
Holy
And
shit!
the other
Kansas City
thing, too,
defense is real. The other thing is, if you watch this game, you'd see that there were at least 4 or 5 catches, and a lot of these were in the red zone, where
someone
his
had to put
receivers
out.
had it, they just didn't get 2 feet down. This happened like 5 times.
They broke a record for that.
I'm pretty sure
Oh.
that all of Zay Jones' catches, and I think he goosed. I think we'll get.
Yeah,
I think
he
he's
goosed.
in. I think we're gonna be
Oh,
talking about him
man.
later, but
Yeah,
Yeah.
He'll
Do
get
we,
his
got,
day.
do we got a tape compilation on that? I want to shame this man.
I don't have that
That's just
prepared.
sad.
But yeah,
That's
that
just
is
sad.
what happened. If you go back
It
and
was
watch
it was
that
very
game,
bad.
you
yeah.
can see what happened there. Kansas City.
No, but this is
was-
also like Casey's defense is real. Like
yeah,
yeah.
Yeah,
like we were saying
yeah.
earlier.
definitely.
Nah, I've never. I like Trevor Lawrence. I don't think he's that great of a quarterback. I think he will come into play, in a couple years after he gets more than 3 years under his belt. Maybe next year after, he might start to become a real quarterback. But he's one of those guys that it takes a while for someone like him to get used to the league. And he's a tall dude. He's a big dude.
He'll
Yeah.
figure it
He'll
out.
be a great. He'll figure it out.
I see
First
this.
overall
I
pick.
look
He's
at the
got
stat line.
he's got Houston next week, so he should be able to put up some numbers.
But you have to remember
Hopefully.
when he came to the league.
Unless Will Anderson eats his lunch.
When
Dude,
he came,
Urban Meyer was an absolute disaster.
That's such a good
Yo,
point.
Urban Meyer
Is a
was a phenom in college, and he
That
had
means
some of the
nothing.
best-
This is the
It's
NFL.
nothing.
No one cares about
Yeah.
college. That's what you did. That's not the
Listen,
same.
That's literally what I was about to say.
Okay, well then I just know
being
you're
a phenom
talking.
in college doesn't translate to being great in the NFL.
I mean, he literally kicked his kicker. Like there is no way that situation.
what was
It
the
is
quote?
incontrovertible
Hit your
evidence
kicks,
that-
dumbass, and he kicked
Yeah,
him. Yeah, something
you
like
don't
that.
don't kick your players.
Yeah,
And
don't
this
is-
do that.
I don't
Why not?
remember. I don't remember who the kicker
Don't do
was,
that
but he
even
was a
in
veteran.
college.
Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. No, it was that first year. Like, yeah, no, it was all bad.
All right, Joe.
Yeah, real close.
This one's rough.
Dude, no, actually,
This was the nail biter of the week.
This was
hands
actually like I made some bad choices.
Let's get the AJ Brown discussion out of the way. How do you really feel about Rashad Penny?
Oh, dude, Rashad Penny just absolutely screws me, man. Like he's just been screwing the Seahawks. He's been screwing us like for years now.
Specifically,
The
screwed
injuries.
AJ Brown. Like if you didn't
Like-
see it, AJ Brown got a
He-
bomb touchdown
And
that was
it
called back because
back.
of a Rashad Penny
hold.
Holding call.
bonehead holding call.
Yeah, just a terrible holding
God.
call.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
terrible.
So
Um,
sucks.
That like it
That
was
literally
terrible.
cost you your week here if you think about
Yeah.
it.
It is.
Oh, yeah, no,
Denny
for
fucked you.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. The yeah, I mean Justin Herbert had a pretty good game.
Yeah, Justin
overall.
Herbert 28.2, Mandrews 14
Yeah,
points.
that's a good
Yeah,
stat
those
line.
are those are good.
James Cook
Oh,
I mean,
20.4.
it's not terrible.
20,
Trayvon
yeah,
Diggs.
James Cook turns out like actually like good after the catch and
Yeah.
like after contact. Like
Yeah.
he's second in the league behind Christian McCaffrey. Like, yeah. Can't really like argue with that.
Again, it doesn't show it in points, but Jahmyr Gibbs is an absolute athlete of a player.
He's a monster.
He'll be good soon.
Eventually,
Ish.
yeah.
Ish.
Addison is a really good rookie pickup here. It's gonna be a good player.
Yeah, Trev got
we
mad
can
at me
really
because
get
we
it.
were watching the game and
I was
then,
getting furious every single
Montgomery
time. He's like,
went
"Where's
out.
Jahmyr Gibbs?"
no. Montgomery went out and I was like, where the hell is Jameer Gibbs. I'm so surprised they're not using him. And then he just started ripping it.
Literally every time he'd say
Trevor's
it,
like,
next
shut the
play,
fuck up.
I'm like, dude,
Shut the fuck up.
Stop speaking
Yeah,
this into
It's
existence.
like, what?
We
I
need
said
him.
one thing.
He said it multiple times. Every single time you bring up, where's Jameer Gibbs? All of a sudden he pops off with like a 20-yarder. It's like,
There he
stop.
Yo, yeah, no, I mean, I'm surprised. Like, yeah, I mean, I think part of it is the Seahawks like defense is like got the opposite going on from last year, where like there's something going on in the secondary.
The Seahawks have all the weapons they need, but they're not working together.
Yeah,
And you can tell. You can tell when they're on
Yeah,
the field, and Bobby's running up to players and getting them to calm down, and he's trying to get to be the leader of the team. But Bobby, since he left last year and is just now coming back, it's kind of hard to regain that leader role and have players listen to you when you left to go catch a bag. You know what I mean?
The other thing too is that Quandre Diggs has not been playing very well, and he's the other guy that has that voice. But you can't be that guy if you're not playing well. Like, you got to be playing well to do that.
I don't necessarily think that's true. Because a lot of people believe in Bobby, and he has his off games. You know, we never looked to KJ to be a leader. We never looked to anybody else really on the defense.
No, but that's the thing is like Bobby left, KJ, like Quandre took that role for the defense, and it's just like early struggles. Like, you do have to be playing well, like you have to be able to back it up.
Yeah, Diggs is going to figure it out. He's a good player.
He'll get there eventually. I'm not worried about it.
We always start slow, anyways.
The defense will start playing more in sync as things progress along. You know,
I do want to point out the one play though. If you want to open up Pat Fryermuth's score, for Danny, like his tight end. Or not, yeah.
What, 1 reception, 2 yards?
There.
Dude, no, that's not what. So this is the play that lost me the game. Is
the Fryermuth catch?
No, it wasn't a catch. God. No, it's a tackle and a fumble recovery.
Look at his.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Is it special teams?
No, this is who's he? What's it? Deshaun Watson. Weird... It was the Deshaun Watson thing. He like threw it like.
No.
Oh my God.
No, the Steelers threw a pick. And then
that's what it was.
And then Fryermuth
and then Fryermuth came and hit the guy, and he fumbled the ball.
Yeah, so he got a fumble, like a forced fumble and a tackle. And so I lost this game because an offensive player got a tackle.
Yeah,
that's why I lost this game.
I did not.
If that hadn't happened,
I love that.
If that hadn't happened, I would have won. It was because if.
Defense wins championships.
Because this is after Nick Chubb went out. Like, of course, there's no points there. Michael Thomas, they completely went away from late in the game, like they did last week. And then Mike Tomlin apparently really hates Myles Garrett because Myles Garrett put up like 2 points.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about that.
Yeah.
He was a non-factor in this game. It was really surprising.
Dude, he did something personal to to Tomlin, man.
Something
like seriously.
There was that whole situation with Myles Garrett ripping his quarterback's helmet off and hitting him in the head with it. So
yeah, there was that. Yeah.
I think there's still
some bad blood there.
Between those teams for sure.
But Zay Jones goose egged me because he couldn't catch the ball inbounds.
Yeah, we were talking about how he had so many almost, like, if he had gotten inbounds with half of those catches, he would have had a monster game. Yeah. So, typical Joe week in fantasy for sure. You just got fucked at every single level.
And the problem...
Ex-Seahawks... offensive players on the other team that you're playing against have fantasy points based on defensive things.
The beat all week were wrong about Amari Cooper playing. He's sitting on my bench with 15 points.
Yep.
The whole week they're like, he's unlikely to play. Like,
gets targeted like crazy.
Riders. Aren't you supposed to be near the team? Like, physically near them? Like, god damn it.
So,
but yeah.
Why did you pick up Hunter Henry and then not start him?
It was in case
because he has Mark Andrews.
Because Mark Andrews was still questionable.
Right?
He was still questionable. Like
Who has more points?
Hunter
I mean,
Henry.
Hunter Henry, but
Well, it's
still,
Mark
It's
Andrews,
Andrews.
was questionable the entire week, and it was still
Look,
unclear whether he's going to play or not.
He's also their
Having-
wide
if you're
receiver.
gonna start-
having two top flight tight ends is such a luxury in this type of format. Like good
Just in
pickup,
general.
you know,
Yeah.
like that's awesome.
Yeah, he
You
screwed
know.
me. I tried picking him up. He outbid me.
So let's talk about the elephant in the room here. Danny had Nick Chubb.
Rip.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
Sorry,
I
Danny.
would have. Yeah,
He's gone.
that
that's
was
that's a
fucking
career
rough,
ender.
dude.
That's a
Ugh.
career
So-
ender.
He's
so
done,
bad.
man.
You're
You're gonna have to find a new RB1.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Danny's gonna have to.
He's
end
got
up
Derrick
trading-
Henry, so I think he's okay for at least a couple more years. But
Well,
Yeah, he's gonna have to
see. I
find-
mean, who else is on his team that would be able to fill that role? I mean, let's roster
Yeah, we
bait
can
all
find
over.
out.
Let's not paint it easy for him. There's no
Yeah.
way Nick Chubb's coming back and scoring more than 10 points
No.
a game.
No way.
Yeah, no, he's never gonna be.
No
in,
way.
Like, the workhorse.
He's never back. He's
Dude,
never
yeah,
back in the
yeah.
same way.
unfortunately, he also had Cam
Here's
Akers
Cam Akers. Oh, and Foreman.
and Deonta
Oh,
Foreman. He's got a
Okay.
lot of
And we don't
injured
know
players.
anything
Yo.
about A-Chain, who's tiny, who we have no idea if the pathway is there.
all right.
Get him
Anybody on the taxi squad that he could promote?
I can't see Taxi Squad from this. I think I have to go
You got to go to the
trades,
league.
and trade, and then I can see where's Danny.
Well, no, hold on.
You can see everyone's roster from this
You
video.
can, but there's an easier way to it.
There he is.
Yeah.
Scroll all the way down here. Oh, that's all of his picks.
No, you can just
So his
it's
running
all
back
sorted
depth. His
here.
running back depth is
is Achane and Donovan White, who just got signed by Vegas. Or no, Donovan White got signed somewhere else.
I mean, Tajay
Who signed
Spears.
Donovan White.
Tajay
Well, that's
Spears.
actually bad because you would need Derrick Henry to go
Yeah,
down.
and Tajay
So that's
Spears.
not
Yeah,
great.
it's not. It's like a handcuff play, which isn't terrible, but
No, but it's just like it doesn't solve your problem
Immediate
of you've
problem.
lost the best running back in the league.
Honestly, the only thing I can
He-
see
Nick
about
Chubb's
his
not the best-
roster
Not the best
construction.
in the league, but he puts up more than 10 points a week.
Yeah.
mhm.
I think Devon
has the-
A-Chain is the answer for Danny here because there's no way that Miami is going to run Raheem
Raheem
Mostert
Mostert.
the entire
the
season.
entire time.
He's
yeah.
Raheem Mostert's
Yeah.
31. Like if he makes it through the entire season without getting hurt, like that's a miracle in and of itself. Like
Right.
31-year-old running back in the NFL, like not getting hurt is, I don't believe that's going to happen.
I mean, he didn't start playing in football till he was like 26 or something like that, so he doesn't have all that much tread on him. But
And
at the
still,
same
man,
time, yeah, he's old. I mean,
Yeah.
he's old for football. But yeah, that's that matchup for sure. I mean,
That injury,
really-
though,
really
so
sucks. It
if
blows
you
a big
haven't-
hole for Danny.
if you haven't seen the actual play where he got injured, don't look it up. Like,
it's
Don't do it.
fucking
I
bad.
watched it. I watched it
Gnarly.
because I'm a sicko, and I went to bed clutching my knee. Like, no.
It's bad.
I clicked on the
Don't
link.
look at it.
I mean, I clicked on the link and like almost immediately turned it off after I saw
It's
what
like,
was
nope,
going
I'm good.
on.
Just
It's like,
even
yeah,
the-
I'm good. That's
you can-
cool. Like,
there's a picture floating out there that's the picture doesn't make it.
Is
the
it
full-
enough? Yeah.
Yeah.
The
no, I'm
Troy
good.
Aikman won't show it. You know, that's the
It kept
level.
me up all night last night.
It was gnarly, man.
That's
Yeah.
It's not good. It's not good.
I hate those injuries. Why is it always the Steelers? It was Shazier, Ryan
don't know.
Shazier a couple years ago,
That's
primetime
true.
game,
Yeah,
super
with the
scary
head
neck
injury.
injury where he actually got
Yep.
paralyzed,
Yep.
and now this. It's always the
Yeah.
Steelers, man.
It's always this. And it's Steelers Brown.
No,
Or no, the ones
the
Steelers,
Shazier was Bengals, which is
Bengals, yeah.
which is always a super
Steelers.
nasty.
But I
So
mean,
it's just
yeah, it's
AFC
just-
North team.
It's this
right?
AFC North division games, and I mean that's fucking.
It's brutal.
That's a rough and tumble part of the country too. Like they play some hard football up there. The Ohio, Pennsylvania, Rust Belt kind of folks.
Oof, Deshaun. That's
Who else
that's
is in
not a
that?
good stat line.
So this is the last matchup
Yeah,
of the
he
week
got
here.
wrecked.
John, I think this was the matchup that I was looking forward to watching. I was rooting for John in this one. Sorry, Matt. You did good. You dispatched of John, the underdog. but it wasn't even close. This ultimately, it was the Blubber Bowl again that did it for me in terms of the tension at the end of the week. But let's go through it. Let's pick this apart and see what happened here. It's just not good enough from John. I think one of the big question marks for me.
It didn't show up.
Running backs on bad teams here.
Running backs on bad teams, but look at this. What the fuck is going on with Hassan Reddick?
Dude.
This dude is an absolute monster, and he's doing nothing. I'm sure he's injured. I think that's actually the case.
39 snaps.
Wait, I mean, here's the he went
13 days.
He had a
ago,
hand
Reddick
surgery.
Underwent surgery to deal with a torn ligament.
13 days ago. Like, yeah, okay, he's not.
But they're
playing
him. If you're on the field, you're.
Yeah, he's clubbed up. So it's one of those things where like
he loses some
he
technique.
only has one hand, so unless he's swimming to get into the backfield, he's not going to really be much of a.
Yeah,
he's gonna have a hard time wrapping.
He's gonna be pressure, but he's not gonna make tackles. He's not gonna
catch a ball. He might get a pass defense if he
he could
away, but he's not
back it up.
it.
But yeah, exactly. He's clubbed up. So
and it's not like he doesn't have a backup that he can't play. Like
yeah, totally.
Cole Holcomb, Jordan Hicks, like.
I mean, even Jordan Brooks.
She's got
like,
Jordan
as a
Brooks.
floor play.
Yeah,
like,
I would honestly put those guys in like play matchups. Look who's playing a bad defense week to week, and then just wait for Hassan Reddick to get it right because he's not playing 100%. He's playing at like 30% right now, and I'm surprised he's actually playing. And I wonder how much of it is like a sign of the Eagles not having depth at linebacker or what, because it's a really concerning start to the season for him.
No, you played me this week. You played me this week, so you just leave him in.
This defense really underperformed, is what I'm seeing here, and it's not necessarily bad players.
I mean there were a lot of underperformances. Look
at running backs underperformed.
Stephon Diggs was not great. Like,
Mike Evans is had a Mike Evans game.
But,
Mike Evans is Mike Evans.
I mean, I think the difference here. I mean, I did a lot of a little bit more consistent play out of defense by Matt, and just like a few more offensive plays on offense are what really sealed the deal here and what made the difference.
He had Rashad,
at least in terms of exactly Rashad and what's his name? Mike Evans. You know,
I mean, Mike Evans right now is
not Mike Evans. CeeDee Lamb, who also had a hell of a game.
CeeDee Lamb, yeah.
Joey Bosa on the other side.
Joey Bosa might be at the end of his career though.
Sadly, yeah.
Yeah.
Matt played a good lineup here.
Yeah.
Deshaun Watson was really the only fuck up. And I'm surprised Deshaun Watson didn't get suspended. I don't know if you guys noticed, but that play where
he pushed a ref.
Not only did he push a ref, it was after a play where he grabbed a player by the face mask and pulled them down,
flung him into the bench. Yeah,
and then there was a scuffle because his teammate was like, "What the hell, man?" And then Deshaun Watson pushed a ref.
Why is this guy untouchable?
How is he not suspended after that?
How is he not getting any discipline at all?
He must have some deep shit on Robert Kraft.
Yeah, for real. Because he's in the first he gets away with jacking off onto all his massage therapists, and now we let him back in the league, and he's pulling shit like this on the field. Yeah. How is he even in the league?
I don't know,
He's not even that good.
That's fucked
the Browns are a trash organization, apparently, because they gave the best contract of any contract in the NFL ever to a guy who's not performing.
And hasn't played in 2 years.
Hasn't performed well for the entire time that he's been allowed.
And as much as we make fun of Baker Mayfield, people in Cleveland love Baker Mayfield. They ran out a dude that the city loves. Whether or not we think he's good.
I love Baker.
Whether or not people actually think he's good, the city loves him. The organization just completely is just something's wrong over there, man.
Yeah.
There's some weird stuff going on.
Not a lot you can do though because of how much they have invested in Deshaun Watson. I don't see them moving away from him in the near future, at least.
The dead cap hits are crazy.
Yeah,
and
it's insane.
And like they have, and because every dollar is guaranteed, they can't restructure him, add more years, and kick it down the road like normal quarterback, like normal NFL contracts. There's
why
no way
are we
out.
not suspending him? I don't
Because he's a
understand
quarterback,
why
and
he's not getting suspended.
if he gets suspended, it's a headline and it's bad press, and like the NFL doesn't want that.
Yeah,
I mean, yes, that's what should happen, but that's why it's not happening.
House at some level, you know.
Because Goodell is soft.
Yeah. Goodell's soft.
No, they would rather go after DK for talking shit because he talked shit to somebody.
It's because because DK dyes his hair or something or whatever.
Priorities are all fucked up. I mean, that's for sure.
Anyway, I feel like we're dumping on Matt's team here. He showed the fuck out. Aside from Alex Madison, Nick Bosa, Jesse Bates
his fault that
doing
he
nothing.
It's not his fault that he picked a very, very controversial quarterback.
It's actually a smart play by him because he fell a lot.
Yeah, he
fell really far.
When did he grab him here? Let's see.
History.
Pick
sixth round.
Sixth round. That's good value. He was falling like crazy.
Yeah, that's that gets you all your base guys, you know?
I picked Kirk Cousins in the 7th.
Yeah.
I think Deshaun Watson's ceiling is higher
at
than
the time. We all thought Deshaun. We all thought at the time that he had the opportunity to come back.
That's for sure.
Texans Deshaun Watson, definitely. This version, absolutely not.
Yeah, something's wrong.
You don't leave the league for 2 years because you jacked off on your massage therapist and come back like the same person that you were 2 years ago.
That's true, and we're seeing that.
That's for sure.
That's 2 years sitting on your ass doing nothing.
I would say though that Calvin Ridley proves that the other way because he looks like a number one. Like he's still got it. Like even if Trevor Lawrence can't pass the ball like in the end zone.
So Rachaad White, 21.8 points. CeeDee Lamb, 22.3 points. And Joey Bosa, 19.6. Let's start with Rachaad White. He went crazy. The Tampa Bay defense offense looks legit.
Yeah. Baker Mayfield turns out
he looks legit. Rachaad White looks like a really good running back.
After this week's bye, Ronald Jones comes back.
They dropped him.
They dropped him?
Yeah, they released him. Ronald Jones got released.
When?
Because he did something else, right?
Yesterday.
Yeah. No, they just
wasn't
released
he on
him.
Dallas?
He was literally yesterday.
No.
Wasn't he playing?
Rojo got released. So 11 for 13, 143 yards, 7 receptions, and a fumble. That fumble doesn't even matter in the grand scheme of things here because of how good the defense was for Dallas. But yeah, man, Matt's team is put together pretty well.
Yeah,
I think that he's going to be doing some damage this season.
We'll have to monitor what Mattson actually is. We still don't know if he's any good.
Who?
Mattson.
Madison? Yeah.
We don't know if he's any good.
He's definitely a question mark. I think that he honestly just got Philadelphia. The run defense is carrying over from last year and looking pretty good.
Jalen Carter is real. There's no drop off between him and Javon Hargrave.
I think there's better days ahead for Alexander Madison. I don't think that the book is completely shut on him. I do see them drafting a running back next year and him potentially taking over, but at least
if they draft one in the second round for sure.
We'll see about that. Their running back room is absolutely a question mark right now. Like there's options that will probably emerge by the end of the year, or at least that's what I think the Vikings hope.
Who did they draft anybody this year?
No.
The
Vikings? No.
Okay.
No. I mean, you can look at their running back room. They've got some. They picked up a weird veteran.
Madison is so bad.
Miles Gaskin.
Miles Gaskin.
Miles Gaskin was the fucking man in college, all right? You leave him alone.
Yeah, right. I mean,
that's my fucking boy. That's my fucking boy, all
maybe
right?
this is a bit of a hot take, but I think Miles Gaskin actually has a chance to overtake Madison.
I think Miles Gaskin is a functional NFL player.
Yo, that is a local. That is a goddamn local hero. Okay, you leave him alone.
I mean,
he's from Linwood.
All I'm saying is that
that's why I took Trent McDuffie. Not gonna lie, he was a UW guy.
Yeah, man. I'm wholehearted love Miles Gaskin because he played for the UW, and so it's just one of those things where you just gotta give him some time. He'll play.
What
Well,
you
look
looking
here.
at? What
Matt-
you looking at the big board?
Well, Matt went absolutely crazy in the draft on running backs. Like he's got depth on. I think he has
Oh,
the
he
most,
took Jonathan Taylor.
He has the most running backs.
Yeah.
This is the big one here.
Oh yeah, this is.
Yeah, that's huge.
Matt's gonna be fine. If
That's
Alexander
huge.
Madison sucks, he's got Jerome Ford, which is gonna be an
no, that's
RB1.
really-
rest of the
that's
season.
really
Jerome Ford
huge.
looked good.
That's a good
He looked
point.
really
He did
good.
not
He had
look
He looked
he had
fine.
a-
Yeah, he looked great.
the 69-yard rush, nice. Followed by the weird, he got flipped up by the safety that was chasing him, and then
Mhm.
face planted, and then
Well, he got to
also
work.
he has the other guy that they got from the Patriots
Okay. Yeah. Sweet.
who
You're
came in and punched that in, and then had such a stupid celebration. It was like, dude, come on, you didn't do.
You did nothing.
You did nothing there.
You went 1 yard. Let's go, bud.
And he got absolutely nailed on the first try too, which was hilarious.
Oh, that's fun.
Jerome Ford also had that run
Carries
where
1
he
yard
just like
touchdown.
ran like east-west across the field, like, and then ran like for an extra like 50 yards before actually gaining a yard.
So I think that's it for the matchups this week. Went through everybody's matchups. I'm excited for next week. I think that we've got some trends developing here. I'm excited to see if there's going to be any trades coming up in the next couple of weeks.
Throw our matchups on to week 3. Let's
when
forecast
is trade
all.
deadline for our league?
Week 11, right?
Okay, so we got plenty of weeks.
Yeah, we got plenty of time.
We'll see if anybody actually like is in the hunt and down and like ends up.
Who keeps sending me trades for picks? I'm so confused.
Probably Josh.
What is this pick trade shit that people are doing?
It's probably Josh. That's his thing.
People are trying to
now.
trade up in the draft before the just to like make put option better or whatever, or sell out. Like,
Joe, this is all
yeah.
gambling anyway.
I know.
Ha-
I mean, options are gambling, so I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah. All right, so these are the matchups we got next week. Fuck projections. Let's just look at what we think will end up being the matchup of the week here.
Let's see here. I think the matchup with
think
Steve
Trevor
versus
and-
Casey is going to be interesting. My matchup against
I was looking at
Trevor
yours,
and
Trevor.
John is
Trevor and
definitely
John
on my
is-
radar.
I feel like this is going to be a super frustrating game for both of you.
I think
I don't think so because I'm really high up, and my projections are always way lower than what I score. Because if you go and look at my points, my points for and my points, I'm third in points for, and I'm like number 2 in points against. So like, it comes down to I've had 2 really fucking hard games, and one I pulled it off, and against you I didn't. I don't think. I'm not trying to be a dickhead here, but I don't think this week's going to be that tough unless he makes some pretty good moves.
All right.
Let's see.
I don't know.
That's
I
the
think I'm
fighting
interested to
words.
see if Ben can get a win.
Ben is getting desperate here. He's entering the
needs to-
shadow realm
needs to get a
slowly.
win. Yeah.
I-
0
I'm
2
also-
is not a great place to be,
He's
man.
about to be 0-3 because I'm on another level. Is just
Yeah,
on
Jordan's
another
team.
level.
Jordan's
It's
team
not-
is.
Jordan team's very
Jordan's
good.
team is actually scary as fuck.
I think Ben's team has a really good chance of showing out, though. I think there's some. The
I
bright
know with
plays go
Saquon
the
Barkley
right
getting
way.
hurt, Najee Harris hasn't gotten more than a 10-point game this year. We'll see. I don't think he's gonna have to do some running back work. Like,
Yeah,
gotta do
there's definitely maybe some room to improve there for sure.
Oh, he's also got Joe Burrow, and Burrow is just questionable right now.
Yeah.
Burrow has a calf injury. Saquon,
Yeah, this is
what,
definitely.
ankle?
And
what is
Devontae
going-
Adams questionable
Yeah.
too.
two ankles
And Montgomery's.
Half
Yeah.
ankle.
Okay. Yeah. So boy.
You put
That's
all of his
not
team
great.
together, you got
It's a
one
tough
ankle.
week. It's gonna be a tough
Jesus.
week for him.
Yeah.
Ben is
he
unfortunately the McVay.
Unfortunately, he got hit with the injury bug this year.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
not
pretty
Well,
bad.
Danny too. Danny really look his team is so banged up. He's got so many guys on IR. It's man.
I mean, yeah, like
He's waiting for Cooper Kupp to get back. He's not even played him yet.
That's this week,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Supposedly.
Hopefully.
IR is
week
4
4,
weeks.
right? So
Yeah, so
it'd be 2 weeks from now at least.
yeah,
He comes back.
and then they're gonna ease him in because Puka Nakua is fucking
He's playing out.
destroying
He's
the league.
showing up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's coming off my taxi squad this week.
So
sorry
yeah,
to
that's
say.
I bet.
that brings us to
Should
some
have
of
been last week.
It brings us to some of the
Well,
miscellaneous things that we wanted to talk
I
about.
wanted
That was
to
the
pull him
first
off
one.
last week, but I believed in my boy Chris Godwin, but he's just he's not showing up, man. It's the Mike Evans show. It's not.
Trust the youth.
That was a really good
Trust
pick, man.
the youth.
Puka
What do you mean? Chris
Nakua.
Godwin is 27, dude. He's not old.
I know.
But Puka's a must play now.
You know who is old? Mike Evans. How the fuck is he the
dude,
show?
He's super old.
Like what?
Or Adam,
He's my age.
Thielen, the wide receiver 1 for Carolina. This is the only one they have there.
Dude, the voice the fantasy footballers do for Adam Thielen is fucking hilarious. I don't know if anybody listens to that podcast.
Yeah.
That's that shit's so funny, dude. That shit makes me laugh so hard.
You know who is about to see the waivers? Hunter Renfroe. He's just not the player.
Dude, he hasn't been relevant in 2 years. I don't know what happened.
Devontae Adams showed up.
The second they went to Vegas, it's like he parties every night. Because the second that franchise moved to Vegas, he hasn't showed out for a single fucking game. 2021 was his last time he actually was fantasy relevant.
Is he like an Oakland guy?
Non-existent. He was hurt, I guess, for part of the year, but I don't know.
But they just he had like that one good season and just
Like he every once in a while he'll give you 20 points, but that's so inconsistent. How do you pick the matchup? Like how do you pick the game? Because it's never the same team ever.
He's a really rough play. I think he's more of a better NFL player than he is a fantasy asset. Honestly,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, right. I mean, he does a lot of blocking and stuff.
I mean, the article on him this week is Hunter Renfroe's lone catch fails to ignite the Raiders' offense in week 2.
His lone catch. If that's the highlight, if that's what they got to say about you, it's not a good look.
No.
I mean, Jacoby Myers is out there too now, so I mean, he maybe has a chance to step up on the depth chart. With
McDaniel,
right?
Who's the Raiders coach?
He's
a New England guy. Jacoby Myers isn't going anywhere, man.
No, he's not going anywhere. He's just hurt.
Oh, okay. No, then maybe
he's hurt, and Devontae Adams is questionable too. So I mean, that leaves Hunter Renfroe, Christian Wilkerson, like Trey Tucker. We're not really seeing a lot of. I mean, if it continues to trend that way, I don't know that I'd drop that guy because I think there's going to be targets coming his way with very few options remaining, especially if Devontae Adams doesn't wind up playing. So,
and as long as the line holds up, like Jimmy can throw
Jimmy
the ball.
G can sling. So I mean, we'll try and find an opening if you can.
How about Cam Akers getting benched?
Dude, what's going on with the Rams, man?
What the fuck is with Sean McVay? What is did Cam Akers sleep with his wife again? I don't know what the fuck happened there.
Wait, he slept with his wife?
That's what it seemed happened.
That was the joke from last year, but like when this happened before. But
I feel like this is something where they want to trade him and they see something in practice that they hate. Like maybe he's just having nightmare practices.
He could just be another like D-Hop, and that's just not a thing that they want, where it's like the practices are always a problem. And unlike D-Hop, he doesn't he's not in a position where like they have to play him.
Right.
Because D-Hop is D-Hop.
The Raiders are interested in trading for Cam Akers.
That's why you got to hold on to him. Like even in redraft, because if he goes somewhere else, he immediately has value there because he's been proven to be a good running back.
Like he came back from that the Achilles, and and then the next season after the half season of the Achilles, put up good numbers.
He did pretty well.
On the other side of it, the Kyron Williams kid for the Rams looks legit, and Josh was super aggressive on the wire paying up for him. So that was a good move.
Waddle.
Yeah.
For who?
Kyron Williams.
Kyron Williams.
Oh yeah.
their-
He got
I mean, he
redshirted
can-
last
he
year from
can-
an injury, and it was pretty clear last year they were going to try and play him until he got hurt, and Cam Akers was never the plan.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good waiver wire pickup for sure. Might be a league winner ultimately if things continue to trend this way because he's got great hands. And Stafford loves a running back out of the backfield. So
It's true.
Yeah, and the Rams are a running team like every single McVay, like Shanahan McVay system.
running team with screens.
Yep. Except for the Seahawks. Seahawks don't run screens.
What do you think about your matchup against Casey this week, Steve?
Ah man, my matchup with Casey, the projections don't say everything here. Tyreek Hill is the real wild card, I think. If he blows up, then I'm probably gonna lose. Aaron Jones, whether or not he plays, really changes my
You
chances.
could drop a goose egg with Brees Hall again. You know.
I could. I absolutely could. He might not. I mean,
I would hope not, because after last week, I think they would assume that it maybe they just run the ball and stop having Zach Wilson throw the fucking ball. But
I would.
you know,
I would.
Yeah,
think
well,
so.
we'll see if the Jets actually can figure it out and like not have Zach Wilson be whatever they think he is right now, because
New
clearly
Orleans?
it's not working.
My team is, normally as normal linked to the Packers in quite so many ways, but New Orleans has a really good secondary, so I think that's going to potentially limit my points this week. But I'm also double dipping on that a little bit with my safety pickup off the wire this week, who was a reliable sub in at Maye, pulled me down 10 points. So I think this is more of a toss-up than expected, but Casey has a stacked looking team, but I think there's opportunity there for things to not go his way, especially with regards to his defense.
Who do the Niners play? The
San Francisco, Dallas? Is it Dallas? No, it's
they
New
play
York.
Giants. They play the
Giants Thursday night. So
which
that's the
they
next
broke.
game.
The Giants finally broke the seal. But
Yeah.
will they be able to do
Who knows
against
if
someone-
that'll be a good game? That's funny.
So that
Well, I mean,
game, that was the biggest comeback in Giants franchise history. They've had two 21-point comebacks in their 99-year history. This is their 99th year as an organization.
They haven't been down 60 points to no points scored since the 30s.
Danny Dimes is a play
They had
this week,
6 scoreless quarters in a row.
dude, without Saquon, Danny Dimes is a play. Like, he is going to be running so much.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true. His value is immediately
I don't know.
going up.
I can't
Is he
remember
on the
who it is,
wire?
Somebody knows.
No,
He might be
somebody's
on the
got
wire.
him.
Somebody's got him.
I would have picked him up if he was
I
on
think-
the wire.
Doesn't Danny have Danny Dimes? Let me see.
Yeah, Danny has him.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, dude, without Saquon, like, it's
he should be
just Danny
rostered.
Dimes running around. Like, there's no one else to run. It's got it's Waller and it's Waller and fucking Jalen Hyatt against the Niners defense. No, Danny Dimes is just gonna be running. Like,
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
that's going to be
absolutely.
a tough game. That's going to be a tough game for the Giants. Because, in my opinion, San Francisco's probably got one of the best defenses.
Oh yeah, it's them.
Yeah, absolutely.
The Eagles and
they've got great
Dallas.
coverage linebackers too. So I mean, yeah, it's going to be
Dallas
tough for
is
the tight ends.
unproven, in my opinion. I think Dallas has played some pretty easy teams, and the second they get a real team, it's going to be tough.
I mean, who Dallas has played against New York with Zach Wilson's New York, and the listless New York Giants. So far,
And they
yeah,
play the
not a lot
Cardinals,
there.
they play the Cardinals this week.
The only question that I think Dallas has is their linebackers, because their corners are 2 elite dudes. Like Micah Parsons, it doesn't really matter who he's going against.
Dallas doesn't see a real team until October 8th when they play the Niners, and then they play the Chargers, and then they play the Rams, and then they play the Eagles. They don't see anything hard.
So
until October.
they're an easy street to the playoffs this year, huh? is basically what I'm seeing.
It's looking.
I
like
mean,
it.
it's like so they can pretty easily stack up 6 to 8 wins, like right, trampling over folks early on.
Dallas is going to
kind
be
of crumble.
so overrated that they probably will fall to a wild card. Let's be real, because that's
Right.
what Dallas does.
That sounds right.
But we'll see, man. They've been skating by pretty easy these first few games.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Let's watch this play because this is super cool. This is Bill Belichick at work, coming up with a crazy special teams play, and this is a legal adjustment. But that guy coming in off the side there to block that extra point. Yeah, that is some wild adjustment, and what a great block here. Watching him come in off the side.
Dude, why don't we do that with Woolen? Like, he's fast.
I think
Nolan
other
had
teams
the
are going to pick this up.
opportunity to do that multiple times, and he just didn't do it. Because he came off the side like that once or twice, but then he just like would back up. Like he sprinted down in, but he gave up on himself, and he just like backed off to like see if it was gonna be a fake or not.
I think you have to.
I mean, he did it last year, didn't he? And Mike Jack got the.
Well, that's why it's a great one to throw on the extra point, right? Because that can be that 1 point can really be a difference maker in a game.
That can lead to.
It seems so automatic that folks aren't expecting the wrinkle there, which is why I really credit Belichick with that move. That was really sweet, and I hope other teams adopt that strategy more and are more aggressive on those plays because it adds a layer of excitement to special teams and kicking that isn't always there. So super cool.
Kicking, yeah. Thank God, no kickers.
I think the last thing I wanted to talk about with you guys was I wanted to introduce a new segment where every couple weeks we look at the rookie draft and talk about some of the people that have appeared to come away with some really good draft picks. So I had a couple that I wanted to list off.
Trevor.
Well, yeah, Trevor was on my list. Puka Nacua in the 5th. It was really good. Probably the steal of the draft.
Yeah, 100% the steal of the draft.
That dude is the first player in NFL history with 10 plus catches and 100 plus receiving yards in each of his first 2 career starts ever.
Yeah, he's real.
Never happened.
I think that dude. Yeah. I think he'll still have a role, like just with the production. Like they can't not have a role for him now.
And Jalen Carter. Once Fletcher Cox is off that line and it's just Jalen Carter making plays. Dude, I'm telling you, Jalen Carter's going to start putting up numbers in our league.
They're going to have to reload that line. It can't just be him and Jordan Davis.
They will. They got that Nolan Smith kid, though, and he looks good, too. But he's been hurt.
Nolan Smith, I'm pretty high on him.
I think the obvious one here is Casey B. John Robinson. That's kind of a no-brainer pick, but
it's so easy.
I mean, Bijan already looks like he's going to be a top 5 running back.
I want to give Casey credit for Christian Gonzalez, too.
Because he dropped him, and then I picked him up. So
he doesn't get credit for that. Scott has that.
Minus points.
Yeah, he doesn't get credit for dropping Gonzalez. Yeah, that's actually the reason why I like one of my
B minus. Bijan minus. That's what you get.
I think Bijan makes up. It's Casey, I'll trade you him.
Get him back. No, I want to give Joe some credit here because Roschon Johnson really has shown out in Chicago's backfield as the primary.
He's looking good. I think he's going to take Khalil Herbert's
job. He's
going
to take the back. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
I just irrationally thought he was going to be good. Like, if you look, like his whole draft thing was he was behind Bijan. Like in college, obviously you're not going to get the same,
same looks,
same opportunities. But that means he's good at pass protection and good like doing all the smaller stuff. And if you looked if you watch any of his tape, it's like, oh no, this guy can actually like run between tackles and like has like, some like yards after contact skills and like the stuff that you actually need in it as a running back.
Yeah.
And he's got less.
It's a good thing we're in a dynasty league though, because the Bears look terrible. Their offense is a hot garbage.
Awful. Yeah,
garbage fire.
Maybe next year.
I'm gonna give Ben and Kelsey's draft some love. Kelsey especially, because I love my undersized wide receivers, Downs and Dell. And I love to see those short kings thrive in the NFL. And Ben for Zay Flowers has been great, and
Yes.
Musgrave is a serviceable option at tight end in an extremely scarce position. So, it's
Kelsey-
only a matter of time until he gets a touchdown.
Kelsey also
So-
picked up Anthony Richardson.
Right,
That was
So-
a good pick.
that's a good pick.
Yeah.
That'll be
He's out, though,
That'll
now.
be her. It doesn't matter. He'll
How
be
do
back.
we think he'll be back? But I wonder if he's back as a Colt. I wonder if he doesn't potentially leverage his situation out of there, because I get the sense that he is not happy with
We'll
what
see.
is going on. I mean, that's just kind of what I'm seeing, and I wonder if he maybe does pull some sort of late Eli.
That would be
Nah,
really
dude.
interesting.
I mean, they can pick up his 5th-year option. Then you've got 2 franchise tags. That's 7 years in.
No, but I know, but like, what do you think about the option of him like actually holding out? I mean, it would be penalty after penalty until it's like, yeah, I'm not playing until you trade.
I
I-
would
It
be
would be
shocked if that
impressive.
actually does
I-
end up playing out like that, but
I would be very surprised.
especially with that team and the problems that they've had at that position, it's
And with that stuff, I mean, yeah, he's hurt already though because they don't invest in a line. They won't invest in anything.
I mean, I don't know what happened. They had one of the best lines in the league, and now it's trash. That whole team just looks demoralized. Everyone, it's like Trevor was saying, I think last podcast, like everyone's playing for themselves. It's already like mid-season for them. They're protecting their bodies and they're not playing as a team.
Yeah, absolutely. No, there's no. I mean, that's a coaching problem, right?
Yeah, I mean that's one of the biggest problems is that they fired their coach. Frank Reich was.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't know if Frank Reich's any good, or
Yeah,
They look better with Frank Reich than they do now.
Yeah. Well,
The
Yeah.
Jeff Saturday experiment was embarrassing.
I mean,
that was
who is their
hilarious,
head
dude. I don't know what
coach
you're
now?
talking about. That was
Eichen?
hilarious.
It was at the Colts' expense. I don't think that the
I
Colts
mean-
fans thought that was that funny.
No,
I mean, it was so good for the McAfee content.
the Saturday.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's Stane Steichen, right? He's their coach
Yeah.
now, and he's a first-year dude, completely unproven.
Mm-hmm.
So
Oh, he's
mean, it's
inherited a impossible situation.
yeah,
And then Josh,
and
Rookie-
the Jonathan
Jonathan
Taylor holdout made
Rookie
it even
quarterback.
harder.
Yeah, your best offensive weapon that isn't your quarterback is not interested in playing.
yeah,
Right. No kidding.
It's a
Yeah,
mess,
Yeah, no.
man.
yeah, that seems
Zach Moss is your top running back. Like, come on.
oof,
not great.
oof.
Well, that's pretty
Yeah.
much all I had for you guys today. Was there anything else that you guys wanted to bring up?
No.
Nope.
Excited to get into this 3rd week.
Yeah.
Yeah, here we go.
Yeah.
All right, boys.
All right.
Well, until next week, defense wins championships.
And Steve sucks.
And fuck you all.
Sucks.